One of the biggest challenges that I see in relationships as a relationship coach and therapist is to balance individuality and togetherness, and where we need sameness and where we allow for difference, because difference is a teacher and we do not want to overlap and have all of this similarity where we don't allow difference to be part of the relationship. Because to have different hobbies, to have different values, to have slightly different lifestyles, to have different beliefs, to all of that can be beautiful. And there's some aspects to relationship that might feel integral to have similarity or sameness in, because with that lack of similar value or that big change in belief system or massively different lifestyle choices, we can feel like we are abandoning parts of ourselves, abandoning something that's important to us, abandoning our own health and well-being, abandoning the health and well-being of the environment of our home. There's so many different things that can come into play. And so we must maintain individuality. Who am I really? What feels true to me in this season of my life? And how can I honor what feels true to my partner in their stage of life without trying to change them, without me abandoning myself or abandoning my truth in the process, but really firmly allowing yourself to accept somebody for where they're at and speak your truth. And so the question to reflect on this week is, where am I abandoning myself to keep the peace? Is there anywhere that I'm abandoning myself to keep the peace? And if I am, why am I keeping that peace? What am I fearing will happen? I'm going to hurt them. I'm going to create chaos. I am being too dramatic. I'm scared that I am creating this disruption. I am scared of rejection. I'm scared of the ridicule for me to speak up. I'm scared to just speak up. Whatever it may be, what are you really scared of? What do you really think will happen? What do you think will happen when you don't abandon yourself and stand up for yourself? What do you think will happen when you name what's happening for you inside? These are really, really important things to realize, that we can, and we often do, maneuver to try to maintain connection. And so we can feel a lot come up when self-abandonment has meant connection. Many people feel that they have had more connection in their life when they've abandoned parts of themselves, and so it becomes habitual. It feels actually really dangerous to stop abandoning. It feels really dangerous to just really listen to these inner voices, because that could mean I have nobody in my life. I'm completely isolated. If I stand up for my truth and I take myself out of these environments of these people that aren't living lives that I admire or believe for myself to be true for this season of my life, will I have nobody? Will I be a loser? Will I feel or set myself up for failure? Will I be hated? Will people turn against me? What will people think of me? Will I be judged? Will I be shunned? Will I be ridiculed? And so we maintain connection by keeping the peace and hiding our truth, but that self-abandonment deteriorates ourselves in the process. It eats away, it eats away, it eats away. Imagine that energy of self-abandonment quite literally being parasitic and eating away at our internal world. And so June in the Secure Effect is all about that individuality and togetherness. How can I maintain my whole self, honor other people in their whole selves, and see these beautiful overlaps, but not try to enmesh and not completely isolate and hermit either? How can we show each other parts of ourselves and learn and see similarities, but also honor differences and hold them, versus differences meaning we can't be in relationship, or differences meaning I don't want anything to do with you, or differences meaning I'm going to judge you? What if there's no judgment if we're different? What if that can be, wow, never thought about it that way. I might still hold my same belief, but I've never thought about it that way. And thank you for sharing where you're at, right? Like, as we are in different seasons, different evolutions, different healing stages, different, the mosaic of our background makes such a big difference. And therefore, we're going to have different belief systems, but we can tend to think that we should all be standing in the same position of the earth, looking at the exact same moon and seeing it exactly the same and through the exact same eyes. But in reality, we're all in different phases at different times of the day, at different parts of the world, seeing the same moon, but from a different perspective. And we don't have to view the moon the same exact way, but can we recognize that our positionality, our perspective point, is something that we can learn from? It means that we've walked a completely different day, a completely different life, that we get to be teachers of, students of, teachers and students, right? And we can learn a lot by just being in beginner's mind. And beginner's mind means that we are holding our individuality, but we are also seeking to understand and not having to know it all, and not needing to be so anchored in our perspective point, looking at the moon and say, oh wait, let me actually go walk over to your perspective point and see if I notice anything different. And the moon is a kind of like funny analogy for this, because oftentimes the moon can look somewhat similar, but like, think about it this way. The moon is going to look different today. I'm recording this on a full moon, than it is tomorrow, and then it is next week, and then it is in 2 weeks. It's going to be completely different. And so that's a actually lovely metaphor for, we're always shifting and changing, and what we see is always shifting and changing. Nature is never one way. Everything is always just a little bit different. It's never going to look the exact same way that it does right now outside my window, right? The way that the light is pouring in, the way that the leaves of this palm look, and these beautiful leaves on these trees look today, and the birds that are chirping outside right now, and the leaves that are on the ground tomorrow, some of them are going to blow a different way, or there's going to be a different bird that lands here. And that's the beauty of it all, right? So as you move through June, ask yourself, where am I losing myself and enmeshing myself to try to find more sameness? And where am I trying to hold my own to try to be different, to try to prove to myself or prove to other people that I'm unique so that they see me? And where can I hold individuality and togetherness? And how can I honor that I'm already whole? I'm not half a person that needs something else, that needs more money, that needs love, that needs somebody to give me validation in order to be okay. I'm already whole. I'm not a half of a person looking for something to complete me. Instead, maybe I'm already what I'm looking for. And if I'm already what I'm looking for, can I hold my authenticity and stand in my truth versus abandon in order to find something or grasp for something that I think, or I'm delusionally telling myself is going to fix whatever I'm feeling inside. So happy June, or whenever you're listening to this. I hope you find a bit of solace in individuality, honoring that you can be confident in your individuality, and finding more room to invite more people into togetherness with you.